Good day, everyone. I am Juristical Cervantes, and we are the Group 10 from Electrical Engineering 1C. Our research title is Navigating the Freshman Year, an assessment of academic adjustment challenges on first-year electrical engineering students' academic performance at Bulacan State University. For our table of contents, we have introduction, literature review, data, result, discussion, conclusion, references. For our introduction, Haya Noreen C. will introduce herself and explain the chapter 1.
For the background of the study, academic performance is a critical indicator of student success as often measured by the general weighted average, reflecting their attendance, participation, projects, and test scores. As highlighted by Wang and Lu 2024, high academic achievements can predict future life success, which places considerable pressure on students. Supporting this, Lee et al. Emphasized that several factors influence academic performance, including prior academic achievements and self-efficacy. Research suggests that high academic achievement predict future success, creating pressure on students. Factors influencing performance including prior achievement and self-efficacy, external environment such as parental involvement, and the quality of teaching. Understanding these elements is essential for supporting student academic growth. Now, for the statement of the problem, this study addresses the challenging transition from high school to college, particularly within a state university. It aims to determine the level of academic, social, and personal emotional adjustment among college students using the Student Adjustment to College Questionnaire. Specifically, it seeks to answer questions about the respondents' profile in terms of sex, age, and living arrangement. Their academic performance based on midterm examination results in major subjects like MFE, calculus, and chemistry. Their grade 12 GWA and strand uh, and, and their GWA in calculus and chemistry. Furthermore, this study assessed the level of academic, social, and personal emotional adjustment and investigate whether this adjustment level significantly affect the student academic performance. Now, for the significance of the study. This study aims to assess what factors and adjustment may affect the first-year college students' academic performance inside the campus. The study will benefit the following. First, students. By understanding challenges, they can develop coping strategies, find resources, and build a support network. Second, professor or faculty. The findings will help them tailor their teaching to better support incoming students. Third, parents. This provides insights into their children's experiences, allowing for more informed support and communication. And lastly, future researchers. This study will serve as a valuable resource for investigating academic adjustment, specifically in the context of Philippine universities.
In this chapter, I am going to present a review of related literature that guides our research on these factors: academic, social, and personal emotional adjustment of first year college students. Studies point out that shifting over to college life tends to be pretty tough. In Portugal, researchers like Ribeiro, Rosario, Nunez, Gaeta, and Fuentes looked at 380 students back in 2019. They saw that students with solid academic backgrounds and solid study routines handled the change better. On the other hand, those with weaker habits had a harder time. This was especially true during that first week. The team suggested starting support early. That way, students who might drop out could get help right away. When it comes to social adjustment, Leonard, Mylonas, Parker, and Wood checked out 1,052 students in 2024. They found that having a real sense of belonging matters a lot. Students who felt left out ended up less sure of themselves. They also joined in class activities less often. Still, program aimed at welcoming freshmen made a difference. Those efforts boosted participation and helped everyone feel more included. Over in the Philippines, Ada, Enon, Villar, and Monteza explored this in 2024. They focus on how reading skills tie into personal and emotional adjustment. The findings were clear. Students strong in reading showed higher self efficacy. They also had better critical thinking and communication abilities. All that made adapting to college smoother for them. But those with bad study habits or trouble with new words face real struggle in adjusting. The chapter covers some key theories too. Take the Baker and Sirik model. It breaks down adjustment into academic, social, and personal emotional parts. Then there's Van Gennep's stage of adjustment. That one explains the process students leave behind what they know. Over time, they start feeling at ease in the college setting. What stands out here is the focus on this particular study. It zeroes in on academic adjustment in classes like MFE, calculus, and chemistry. It also looks at their grade 12 weighted average. Plus, it examines overall adjustment to college life in general. Most earlier work only tracked one semester, or it came from places outside the local context. So those might not capture how adaptation plays out over longer periods. Things like where students live, juggling work and school, or money issues often get overlooked in past research too. To wrap it up, plenty of studies exist from Portugal, various international schools, and the Philippines. But this one draws from first year students at a state university. It checks the link between their academic, social, and personal emotional adjustment and how they do in core subjects. This chapter describes the method followed in this work to analyze academic, social, and personal emotional adjustment of first year electrical engineering students and their connection with student performance. The study is non experimental and it takes a quantitative approach employing descriptive correlational research design. A structured questionnaire was utilized in gathering the data about participants' academic performance. Grade 12 general weighted average and midterm results including adjustment level. The questionnaire was reviewed by a teacher and disseminated through Google Forms. To guarantee its validity, the ethical procedures such as taking informed consent, voluntary participation, and confidentiality of all personal answers, as well as academic things, were followed. The respondents of the study were 50 first year electrical engineering students of Bulacan State University for the school year 2025 to 2026, who were purposefully selected. The collected data were organized by categories such as gender, age, and living arrangement, while the adjustment response were measured on an ordinal scale using a Likert type format. Demographic profiles were described by frequency and percentage. Meanwhile, adjustment level and academic performance were presented by mean and standard deviation. Data were processed and analyzed using Microsoft Excel for descriptive statistics and Jamovi for more advanced analysis to ensure reliability and accuracy.
Good day, everyone. In this section, I will present the results and interpretation of the data gathered from 50 first year electrical engineering students of Bulacan State University. Our goal was to determine their level of academic, social, and personal emotional adjustment and how these factors relate to their academic performance. Our demographic profile of the respondents are: the majority of respondents were male, consistent with the male dominated trend in engineering. Most students were 18 to 20 years old, showing that many entered college right after senior high school. Regarding living arrangement, most students stayed at home, indicating strong family support during their transition to college. For academic performance of the respondents, the students' overall mean in their midterm results was 36.6, which is unsatisfactory. The lowest score was recorded in mathematics for engineering, suggesting that most freshmen had difficulty coping with the course demands. These findings show the need for academic support and reinforcements during their first year. Next is our grade 12 general weighted average. Interestingly, most respondents graduated from senior high school with an excellent GPA, which means they had strong academic backgrounds before entering college. However, despite their strong performance in high school, they still struggled academically in their first year. This highlights the challenges of adjusting from senior high to college level studies. For our academic, social, and emotional adjustment, the overall adjustment level was moderate, with a grand mean of 3.11, and among these three domains, personal emotional adjustment ranked the highest, while academic adjustment was the lowest. This suggests that students were more emotionally stable than academically confident. They can cope with college life emotionally but still face academic challenge. Next is our academic adjustment details. Most students admitted to struggling with concentration and motivation. They were not fully satisfied with their academic performance but maintained strong desire to earn a college degree. This suggests that despite difficulties, they remain goal-oriented. In social adjustment, socially, the students are adjusting fairly well. They have formed friendships and can rely peer for support. However, many still hesitate to engage in campus social activities, possibly because they are still adapting to their new environment. Next is personal emotional adjustment. Emotionally, the students showed strong adaptability while they experienced fatigue, mood swings, and occasional homesickness. Most were able to manage their emotions effectively and stay resilient throughout their first semester.
Our survey shows that the first year electrical engineering students are having a hard time adjusting in their new academic environment, gathering an overall mean score of 36.63 with a verbal interpretation of unsatisfactory. The students also shows having a hard time adjusting in their new major subjects, gathering a low score of 31.20 for mathematics for engineers despite averaging an outstanding GWA of 95 in their senior high schools in both STEM students and non-STEM students. Survey results shows that the shifts from senior high school to college needs a major adjustment in order to cope up with the much higher academic standards. Survey also backed up the theory that freshman students of electrical engineering are struggling to cope up with the new system, showing a low average in academic adjustment with a mean score of 2.38. Despite struggling to adjust with the new academic standards, a survey shows that first-year electrical engineering students manage their overall emotions well despite the pressure in adjusting, resulting in an overall mean score of 3.44 of students agreeing with the question. While about the social interaction of students, survey shows that students have a fair view regarding how they socialize, having an overall mean score of 3.00 indicating neutral. A lot of factors may affect the overall academic performance of students. According to Heffer and his colleagues, application of skilled focused intervention in senior high school can help students as they step in college. Another factor, according to Bishop, is parental support. Our parents is our first teachers. Reason why their teachings mostly reflects the overall personalities of students. Reason why parental support has a great factor on how students approaches their academics. Another factor, according to Mendoza and Ciroza, is social interaction, proving that being comfortable will result in better academic performance. This research shows that first year of college, especially for electrical engineering, is very crucial for freshman students as they need to change a lot in order to adapt and cope up with the standard. The research shows that organizations from different colleges must implement academic monitoring in order to assess students who are struggling to reach the standard. Similar to the seminars conducted by LSC of engineers in which they conduct review centers prior to the start of school year. Through this seminar, freshman students will gather an information or idea on how school will occur, which may result in improving their studies. The research also focused only on electrical engineering, meaning findings may vary from different colleges.
These are our references, which we took especially from our survey. Thank you and have a good day to all.